Oregon's rich history stretches back over 12,000 years, profoundly shaped by its diverse Native American tribes who developed unique cultures, languages, and sustainable ways of life across various regions. These indigenous groups developed unique cultures, languages, and ways of life, thriving across Oregon's varied environments from the rugged coastlines to the dense forests and arid high desert. Before European arrival, numerous autonomous tribal groups inhabited Oregon, with significant populations along the Columbia River, in the fertile western valleys, and around coastal estuaries. The Pacific Northwest may have supported around 200,000 people speaking 60 to 70 distinct languages, showcasing incredible linguistic diversity among these vibrant communities. Coastal tribes like the Clatsop, Tillamook, Siletz, Yuquina, Alsea, Siuslaw, and Coos relied heavily on marine and river resources, expertly navigating the waters in their traditional canoes. Willamette Valley tribes, including the Kalapuya and Malala, inhabited the fertile valley, moving seasonally to gather resources like camas roots, berries, and game. Columbia Plateau tribes, such as the Warm Springs, Wasco, Umatilla, Walla Walla, and Cayuse, were renowned for their extensive trade networks spanning the region. Eastern Oregon tribes, like the Northern Paiutes, adapted skillfully to the arid Great Basin environment, relying on roots, seeds, and small game for survival. Klamath Basin tribes, including the Klamath, Modoc, and Yahuskin, depended on the rich resources of lakes and marshes, harvesting fish, waterfowl, and wokus seeds. These tribes had established complex social structures, governance systems, and profound spiritual beliefs deeply intertwined with the natural world around them. Oral traditions were vital, meticulously preserving their history, cultural knowledge, laws, and ancestral stories for generations through storytelling. The late 18th century marked a turning point with the arrival of Europeans like maritime fur traders, bringing significant and often devastating changes to tribal life. Diseases like malaria and smallpox, previously unknown to indigenous populations, drastically reduced native numbers, causing immense suffering and depopulating communities. The Oregon Donation Land Act of 1850 granted land to white settlers, further facilitating settlement and accelerating the displacement of tribes from ancestral lands. This period led to increasing conflicts and immense pressure on tribes to cede their lands through often unfair treaties that favored settlers. Between 1850 and 1855, numerous treaties were signed with tribes such as the Warm Springs, Siletz, Cow Creek, Umatilla, and Kalapuya. These treaties often resulted in the establishment of reservations and the forced relocation of entire communities to distant, unfamiliar territories. Conflicts like the Rogue River Wars from 1855 to 1856 further exacerbated displacement and led to significant loss of life among the tribes. The reservation system severely impacted tribal life, confining communities to small areas and disrupting traditional practices and seasonal movements. This confinement led to widespread poverty, disease outbreaks, and the erosion of cultural traditions due to limited access to ancestral lands. Assimilation policies actively suppressed native languages and traditions, with many children sent to boarding schools far from home to enforce cultural change. In the mid-20th century, the U.S. government's termination policy aimed to end federal recognition and treaty rights for many tribes. The Klamath Termination Act of 1954 exemplified this policy, terminating federal status and selling off the tribe's vast reservation lands. However, tribes resisted these policies through legal battles and activism, fighting tirelessly to regain their rightful status and heritage. Starting in the 1970s, many tribes successfully regained federal recognition through restoration acts, demonstrating their unwavering perseverance. Notable restored tribes include the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians, Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde Community, and Cow Creek Band of Umpqua Tribe of Indians. Today, Oregon is home to 9 federally recognized tribes, each actively preserving their unique cultures, languages, and traditions through various programs. These tribes are also engaged in vital economic development, education, and healthcare initiatives to strengthen and support their communities. Institutions like the Tamas Slick Cultural Institute and the Chatchula Museum and Cultural Center are dedicated to sharing and preserving tribal heritage. Despite historical challenges, Oregon's Native American tribes exhibit remarkable resilience and continue to enrich the state's cultural landscape today.